Hi guys, this is Malio. Welcome to my DCS settings walkthrough in my second session with my 6th and 7th image. This time I show you two perspectives, skipping most of the options to show only the most interesting changes. Many of the other option changes you saw them already in the other videos. The first one will be inside of a flying A-18, rolled to the side on a high angle. The second shows some ships on an external view. So the first option will be the DLAA, turning it on. As you see, unfortunately, this scene doesn't stay stable because I was turning around and the time stamp is not identical from image to image, unfortunately. Next one, MSAA 4 times. MSAA off. MSAA on default, and MSAA 2 times, and again default MSAA 4 times. Next one, great surprise, upscaling looks quite okay in this situation. Next one is quality, then balanced, then performance, and high performance. Back to default. Next one, textures, you already know it's affecting especially the cockpit. Low and high. Next one, terrain textures. Nicely visible here. Turning it now to low or min, taking the magnifier. So what we can see here is, for example, this field, turning it back now to high, back to low. And there you see that everything loses details. Going back to max. And also here, low. And back to max. And you're only losing 4 FPS. Next one, shadow will be turned off. Then flat only. Low. So it's a big difference between flat only and low already, especially outside. Going back to flat only. There you see there are very sharp borders and looking not so good. And already starting on low, it's looking much nicer than medium. High. That's the default. And the visibility range, turning now to low, medium, high, ultra. There you can see a difference at this point. Switching back to high, ultra, and extreme. So here you have a nice difference. Next one, SAAO, still has a nice effect. Turning it on now. You see that everything which should be dark is getting darker. Turning into high now. No difference. And off again. Maybe going back to high and off again. SSLR no effect. Skipping over. Also lens effect and heat blur. The next option I will show will be the terrain object shadows, which is currently set to standard. We'll turning them now flat. And the next one off. There, of course, all the shadows disappear, which is not so nice. And back to standard. The next option will be the global cockpit illumination. That's what I was looking for. Turning it off now. And everything's getting very, very bright. Turning it back on. So it's looking much better. And the rain droplets. We have no rain, but turning it off, we gain 2 FPS. For this perspective, we don't see so many differences, so I will skip over the most and only show the most interesting ones. The first one will be the visibility range. which is currently set to ultra. For me it was kind of surprise the effect we had. Turning it now to low. And you see that this ship here, which is not placed for me, it's just part of the map, is disappearing like any other object on the map. Going now to medium. Still not there. Going too high. Now there's some small dot, and on ultra it appears back again. And of course in extreme it's also visible. The next interesting one, as we have many clouds, will be the clouds this time. So switching to low. We can observe this area here when going from low to medium. By the way, I saw that in the options the medium is called standard. So back to the difference, making low again and standard, high, and ultra. Next one, water, currently set to high, setting it now to low. And on low you see that the ships lose their wake, going now to medium. And here it looks nearly like on high, going now to high. No big difference, but I would really recommend to switch at least to medium. So that's actually it for this view. I kept it short because there are not so many different options that are interesting on this view. That's it for the second session. I'm currently preparing the third one, and this time I'll be skipping some of the options we've already seen to be less interesting, like lens effect and depth of field. I also reworking the overall concept of the videos. Instead of documenting every single change, I'll focus on the most important ones. The ones that really matters for performance and visual quality. So stay tuned.